Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Hello Jays Nation, take a breath and settle in, because the story of this Blue Jays season is already beginning to hum, long before the first pitch is thrown. Somewhere beneath the winter quiet, beneath the frozen diamonds and the folded tarps, the heartbeat of Toronto baseball is growing louder. This is not just another update. This is a moment where rumors sharpen into reality, expectations collide with doubt, and the Blue Jays quietly prepare to remind the baseball world exactly who they are. Welcome back to the Blue Jays Report, your home for everything that matters in this city, this team, and this chase for history. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you love this team, if you breathe Blue Jays baseball the way the rest of us do, tap that like button, share this with another fan, and make sure you are subscribed to the Blue Jays Report so you never miss a beat as this season unfolds. Now let's step into the story, because the first chapter arrived only hours ago, and it centers on a player who feels ready to explode. Dalton Varsho has never been loud in the traditional sense, but baseball has a funny way of amplifying quiet confidence. Over the past few years, Varsho has turned himself into a kind of constant presence, the sort of player whose glove speaks before his bat, whose instincts arrive a heartbeat before the ball. And now, on the edge of the 2026 season, he has made a statement without saying much at all. A simple social media post, a clean image, a partnership with Franklin Sports, and suddenly the message was clear. He is ready. Not someday. Not eventually. Now. There is something poetic about custom batting gloves arriving at this moment. They feel like a metaphor stitched in leather and fabric, a signal that Varsho sees himself not just as a contributor, but as a centerpiece. Franklin is not a brand that hands out deals lightly, and the fact that fans will be able to wear what he wears is more than marketing. It is recognition. It is proof that his profile has grown beyond the box score, beyond the outfield grass, and into the wider identity of Canadian baseball. On the field, the importance of Varsho cannot be overstated. This is his fourth season in Toronto, and at 29 years old, he stands at a crossroads that every elite player eventually reaches. Once a catcher, reshaped into an outfielder, he has carried that athletic intelligence with him like a secret weapon. His Gold Glove in 2024 was not a fluke, it was a declaration, earned through anticipation, fearlessness, and a refusal to let balls drop where they do not belong. Last season told a complicated story. Injuries interrupted his rhythm, limiting him to 71 games, yet even in fragments he managed to leave fingerprints everywhere. 20 home runs, 55 runs driven in, an OPS that reminded everyone what happens when his timing clicks. Numbers alone do not tell you how much he matters, but they hint at what could come next. This is a contract year, and baseball players have a long history of turning pressure into fuel. If Varsho stays healthy, the ceiling feels dangerously high, and the Blue Jays know it. As we look towards spring training, there is a sense that Varsho is not just returning, but arriving. And if you are enjoying this breakdown so far, make sure you like the video and stay locked in with the Blue Jays Report, because the next chapter might raise your blood pressure. Because let's talk about disrespect. Let's talk about odds, numbers, and the cold arithmetic of sportsbooks that seem to have forgotten what happened only months ago. The Toronto Blue Jays were one win away from a World Series title in 2025. That kind of closeness lingers. It scars, but it also sharpens. Yet according to the latest World Series odds, the Blue Jays are being treated like a footnote. Sitting at plus 1400, ranked 6th, behind teams that did not taste October the way Toronto did, the message from the oddsmakers is clear. Prove it again. The Dodgers, fresh off their championship, sit comfortably as favorites, while the Yankees, Mets, Mariners, and Phillies somehow leapfrog a team that stood on the brink of baseball's summit. Even within the division, the American League East crown is being handed to New York by default, with Toronto cast as a secondary option. But numbers do not throw pitches, and odds do not take the mound in October. The Blue Jays front office did not spend the off-season licking wounds. They moved decisively, aggressively, and with purpose. Shane Bieber stayed, anchoring the rotation with quiet authority. Dylan Cease arrived on a 7-year deal that announced Toronto's intentions in bold ink. Cody Ponce crossed continents after dominating in Korea, bringing with him a resume that whispers upside and surprise. These moves were not cosmetic. They were structural. They addressed losses, reinforced depth, and built a pitching staff that could suffocate opponents across a long season. And some voices in the baseball world see it clearly. Analysts like Mark Feinsand have pointed out that this roster feels positioned for that final step, even after the departure of Bo Bichette. The addition of Kazuma Okamoto, with his power and versatility, offers a different kind of threat, one that fits the modern game beautifully. Then there are the rumors, swirling like loose papers in a winter wind. Framber Valdez waits patiently, his market slow to solidify. Max Scherzer, a familiar name, floats the idea of a mid-season return, his competitive fire clearly not extinguished. A reunion with Detroit is whispered about, but baseball has taught us never to close the door completely. Whether Toronto makes another splash or not, the foundation is already laid, and the doubters may soon regret their hesitation. And that brings us to the final question, the one that lingers like steam above a cup of coffee on a cold morning. Is Ross Atkins done? Or is there one last move waiting to be revealed? The Blue Jays committed serious money this offseason, over $300 million to pitching alone, a statement that echoes through the league. Yet there remains a sense of unfinished business, particularly in the outfield. The pursuit of Kyle Tucker showed ambition, even if it ended in disappointment. The market has thinned since then, names falling off the board one by one, leaving fewer obvious targets. But baseball thrives in margins, and sometimes the right move is not the loudest one. Austin Hayes remains available, a player who could quietly stabilize the outfield and provide insurance if injuries strike again. Hayes is not a superstar, but he is reliable, productive, and experienced. His 2025 numbers with Cincinnati tell the story of a professional hitter who knows his role and executes it. Adding him would not rewrite the lineup, but it could deepen it, strengthen it, and protect it from the long grind of the season. Of course, there is also the argument for standing pat, for trusting the roster as constructed, for believing that health and continuity will do the rest. Kazuma Okamoto's arrival softened the blow of Bichette's exit, and the memory of last year's playoff run without him still lingers. This team has already proven it can adapt, endure, and win under pressure. With one of the most formidable pitching staffs in baseball, the Blue Jays may not need another headline move to reach October again. But as every fan knows, one extra piece can sometimes make all the difference. So Jays Nation, here we are. Dalton Varsho poised for a defining year. A roster underestimated by bookmakers but strengthened by belief. A front office that may or may not have one last card to play. The story is alive, breathing, and waiting for its next twist. Let me know what you think. Should Toronto bring in Austin Hayes, or is this roster already built to finish the job? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your voice matters here. Thank you for spending your time with the Blue Jays Report. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, share it with another fan, and subscribe so you never miss what comes next. The road to 2026 is just beginning, and we will be here every step of the way. Until next time, stay safe, stay loud, and as always, let's go Blue Jays.